Hello, welcome to 90 and 90. My name's Amanda O'Shea, and I have a very special guest and friend, Rubina Morton, with me today. She is my number 7 out of 90 guest, and the title of today is Attention and Intention. So lovely to see you, Rubina.
Lovely. Good morning. Lovely to see you, Amanda.
How you doing, darling? You
really, really well, thank you.
Good. So we've got 15 or 20 minutes to just have a little chat about yes, your message really to the world. That's what that's what these little powerful conversations are around. I think there's such a message inside each one of us. We talk about there's a book to be written from every person, and you are one of those people who's been very inspiring for me in my journey. So I want to give credit to that, and maybe I'll just introduce how we met, or where we met, because I'm originally from West London, similar to you.
Yeah.
And been living in Javier in Spain for 13 years now. And when I first arrived here, I had my massage and reflexology practice and my 2 small children. And I remember asking somebody, where was the sort of were there any other reflexologists in town? And there was a lady who said, oh yeah, we've got a reflexologist and she's really good, as sort of like, we don't need any more, And I'd really like to speak to her. Do you know her? She's like, yeah, well, she's good. She's, she's our reflexologist, the kind of, and I remember that. And I've never seen business as competition, or I've never seen it in that way. I've never seen like, oh, she's my competition. I've always seen, oh, like, I've seen the community in that, or the union in that. So I remember tracking you down, this amazing reflexologist that was already in the one-horse town. And when I realised there was a couple, right? There were a couple of reflexologists. But do you remember that? This is like 30.
I do indeed. I do. I think it was because we'd all sort of arrived at the same time, and it was just protection.
And it wasn't you. I remember it was coming from you. That message was coming from somebody else. Yeah. Who was trying to protect themselves. Yeah.
No, I remember that, and also we didn't meet straight away. I remember we met at a yoga lunch. Do you remember Magali had that lunch? And then you arrived, and then it was like, oh, you're the Amanda. Yeah.
And from then we went to build a really, I said to you, remember saying, do you wanna do something like as a group? Do you wanna kind of?
Yeah. No, I remember I'd started that area group. It was at the same time meeting you. I went to London, and they said start up an area group for Spain. And then we did. We sort of we got all the local reflexologists together, and then we had this group, and we'd get together for swaps or training, and then we did a lot of things in the community, actually.
Yeah, we did.
And in a way, that's what my talk is about today as well, about attention and intention, because it's about, it stems from there. Like, when we knew there was things happening in our town, and we were out there, like we decided to give back to the carers. Like we did an event with the Red Cross. We wanted to do reflexology in the port for just people going by, just tasters. We did that when we did the menopausal thing at the doctors. Do you remember that? We went into the doctors,
and we forgot about all these things.
Yeah, we did a lot within our community, and I think that's the thing about this conversation I wanted to have with you today. It was about one thing was that we are a little community as reflexologists, and still today, after all this time, other than people leaving to go back to England, we're all together still. And at the drop of a hat, if I say, we're all going to do swaps, we all turn up. So we're still together. We've not done many meetings recently, but I know we're all there and we do support each other. So, so we are a community as reflexologists in our community, which I think is fantastic. And then, Amanda, it was the biggest thing I can remember is I felt very honoured as well was when your brother got married, and when he was getting married, and then you came over and you said, right, help me, we're going to have to organise this wedding. Do you remember all of that? And you and I stayed up all night.
I hope Katie and Paul are watching this.
Yeah,
they gave
our
I
sacrifice.
do remember. I do. There was something there's been so many things that have happened that you sort of forget about, right?
Yeah.
And I had forgotten about that. I had this warning to like organise this wedding for my, brother and sister-in-law, like really quickly, and we had like 100 people coming from overseas, and we did and it was it was amazing, wasn't it? I mean, thanks to you. Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah, do you remember that? And then we had lists and lists, and we had everybody's names down, and then it was about, where they were going to stay, and that again comes back to my sort of title for today, attention and intention. So we did pay attention, Amanda, to every single person arriving and what their needs were, and our intention was to make it as pleasant as possible, so that they remember we got their breakfast hampers delivered for all the people in the bed, wherever they were staying.
I organised absolutely everything for 100 people, where they were staying, their accommodation, their babysitters, their hair appointments, their nail appointments, their getting to and from the airport, getting to and from the venue.
Yeah.
It was huge, and I always joke with my brother and my sister-in-law Katie that I still haven't got over it. It was like 6 months that took over my life, and I said, like, I gave you all my wedding plans. I've never been married, so like I've got all this in my head. I've got this like amazing wedding. It's like I gave it all, and it was amazing, and you wouldn't change it for the world, because it was just what happened.
Yeah, exactly. And it was at that moment, it was the moment, we were in that moment, weren't we? And then it was like, and then you said, right, Rubina, do food. Do you remember?
Do something.
And then I became a caterer.
But there's so many times you've been there for me. I remember when my dear cousin Eilish was passing away age 21, and it was that mad panic we suddenly got, we found out she had cancer, and then we found out she maybe had like 2 months to live, that in a week went to a week to live, that within a day went to 24 hours to live, and that mad dash of trying to get Alice and we got that news, get us to Ireland before she passed away, and we were all trying to find flights and organise how could we get us there. And it's those times which is so precious, and actually I forget about that, until we went.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, getting all tearful.
Oh, but it's like I remember it because it was so like intense, and how people are there, and we don't have to see each other every day. There's been months, really, we've all gone on our own little journeys, because it was about that time that I got introduced to the inside out understanding, to the principles, and my life kind of just went a totally different, it went a totally different area, and has brought us back to here, really, which is sharing that now really with the world, this message of love. That's what it is for me. It's a message of love, and attention and intention kind of come under the love umbrella for me. So seeing that we have people in our lives, we have people in our community, we have people that have been there, whether we even remember that or not, see that or not, believe that or not. There are people that are doing really super good stuff out there, and we might be so caught up in our own little kind of what's going on in our self that we don't even realize what's going on out there to the fullest of its capacity, how much goodness is around us all the time, how much help. And I remember, I think I was on the radio at that time when we did the Red Cross voluntary, when we did that, or maybe that was just before, but I remember speaking to Lorena, the lady who organizes the Red Cross, which is a fantastic voluntary organization across the world, right? And I said to her, we would like to come and nurture the nurturers. So we would like to offer a reflexology session, or a foot sort of, it was more than a massage.
It was half-hour reflexology sessions.
Right, to all your volunteers. And she said to me, we have never, in the time that we have been operating here, had anybody offer to do anything for us. The only phone calls we get are people normally asking. So that was really incredible for them. And back you go again, kind of paying it forward, or, you know, and that's amazing. And what I'm really curious about with stuff like that is, where did that idea come from?
It came from us.
Right.
It came from looking after our community.
But
it came from giving something. Also, it's sometimes in our lives we forget that the person, we always worry, we concentrate on the victim, that the person is sick, who's suffering, and of course all our attention is to them. But the person that's taking care of them, sometimes we just forget about them. It's just automatic that they're okay. And that's where it came from, nurturing the nurturers. Because if we don't look after the backbone of our community, then we would all fall apart, really. We didn't care for people that are out there looking out for others. And they're doing it out of love, because they're all volunteers, aren't they? They're giving their time and everything. And for us, we had a skill and we could give it back to our community. And if you remember, Amanda, we did that, and then we did when they did the Mirador Challenge. Do you remember that? We were up on the planner, right up at the top, and with the cloud, and everybody had gone through, and the clouds had come down. We were freezing, waiting for the last person to come through.
Yeah. So it is that year. I did the 29-kilometer walk, or whatever it was, the Miracle Challenge.
Yeah. And we were there waiting for you guys, and God knows how many feet we did that day, And in a way, I'm saddened that we need to get together again and do something good again. It's been a while.
Here's point into, where does that come from? That idea has come from yourself being in a good place, being open to thought popping in. Creativity is always being offered to us. And what I love about you, Rubina, is that you don't get in the way of that. You don't get in the way of a good idea being suggested to you by your thinking system, and going with it.
Yeah, no, and it's fun. And if your intention is good, Amanda, if you can already have that intention and visualize the effect that will bring, do you remember when they were taking their shoes off and going, oh my God, our feet, and then Amanda, also we did the 5-kilometer run. Do you remember that 5-kilometer run in Javier?
Oh yeah.
And we set up at Lancora.
Yeah.
I mean, that was amazing. Some smelly feet, I remember. And that doesn't bother you. It's just the joy of knowing what you're going to give somebody who's done something good, because they were doing good too, because they're raising money for cancer or something. So it's just like giving and receiving, and then the vibration changes, doesn't it? And that is, and that is it for me, truly. So how I behave, like how I am with somebody, smiling or interacting with somebody, from going to a shop, at the supermarket, picking my fruit, veg, I'm setting that intention and trying to be attentive, but being there in the moment.
And here's the most beautiful thing that I see, is that when we're hanging out in what I would call a higher level of consciousness, that's just effortless. That just happens naturally. There's a little bit of interference. I don't know, isn't it? Can you hear it? Have you got a gardener in the background, or a...
Oh yes, hang on a minute, I'll shut the window.
But what I was talking about is that how when we see that we're in the flow of just being in that energy of love. There's this natural behavior is abundance and loving and kindness, and it doesn't mean we don't stick up for ourselves. It doesn't mean we're not got healthy kind of.
They have to, yeah.
Have healthy protection, healthy judgment, but we're in flow, and it doesn't take any. It doesn't take any. It doesn't exhaust us. So I hear people say, "Oh, I'm exhausted." What exhausts them is their mental exhaustion, because when you're in the flow, we've got this invisible energy inside of us, this invisible power, which runs the universe, running through us. When we're in that flow, yes, we can walk 29 kilometers and still, look after people at the end of that, and stay up all night occasionally because there's something happening, and we can do that stuff because we're doing it from a place of love, and we're doing it from a place of intention, etc. So
Yeah.
Did you have a message, attention and intention? What would you love people to hear? What do you think is helpful for people to see? Where do you think people get caught up?
Well, I think for me, I'm not here to judge, but I think for me personally, this is how we are feeling inside of us initially. Like, I'm going to go shopping, and you sort of set your intention that you're going to go out, and it's your or one's behavior. So when we're outside, so I could easily be moody or be a bit offhand, or I choose to be happy and smiley and be grateful and thankful that I can go to a supermarket and buy my food so easily, and not get caught up too much about the statistics of where it's all come from. I'm not, I love to cook, and I give cookery lessons, I'm all into that. But for me, it's about much more than that. It's like going somewhere, and it's about how I'm feeling and what vibration I'm putting out to my community. So it's if it's with love and if it's kindness, then that's what I'm spreading wherever I go. So whether it's going shopping to buy my food and then interacting with people about it, smelling it, touching it, using my senses, and then coming home and, handling the goods I bought, and remembering the interaction I've had with my community. And also it's like, once I was told that it's about distribution of wealth as well. So like, go to the shops that you wouldn't normally go to. So they've got, you're buying there. And in Spain, actually, that's what we do anyway. You have to do, follow a recipe. You have to go to 5 shops anyway. So you get to know, and you get to know all these, you're part of the local community. So you go somewhere and they know you and they chat to you. And, like, I go to the market every week, and the guy says, Rubina, this is in season now. Try this, take this home. These onions come from my land. So I built this relationship. Like I've got I have a community. You guys, the yoga group, wherever we go, we've got our little communities, and it's about our attention to this and intention of how we want to be with people, to be kind, to be loving, helpful, all that sort of thing. So I think for me, it's that, and it's all about always the vibration. And if we all did that, then that is how we would change and be a bit more thoughtful. You're just taking care of your community. And I think that's where it starts from. And then it just sort of spreads out.
Yeah, that's lovely. And that's what we're seeing, is sort of things going global. We're seeing that it starts, with yourself and with your own family and your own relationship. And what we've been pointing to, or what we point to at the workshops that are run at Casa Serendipity, are when things are created from a place of love, when things are created from a high level of consciousness, they have a different flavor to them, right? They have a little taste. Now, I don't believe that I choose what mood I'm in, because sometimes I'm in a good place and sometimes I'm not in such a good place. But with an awareness to how that all works, I know that if I'm not in a good place, it's best I go walk the dog, or best I go take a nap, or best I go, because sometimes, I don't know that I can snap myself out of it, but what I do know is that it just
it will change. It's not going to be there all the time, is it?
right. So it just, because the nature of thought is a transient energy, and that means it comes and it goes. And so the more I see that, the more I don't get caught up on, I'm in a bad mood now, I'm going to be in a bad mood all day.
Yeah.
Because I understand that, it's like, yeah, I'm in a bad mood and I can be in a bad mood, but I know that I'm not going to listen to this Amanda voice inside here wanting to tell me all the nonsense and the rubbish and the bullshit that it does in that moment. It's like, I want to shut this up and just do what I do, and then I'm all right again. Like, that's when I want to go. That's when I want to go shopping. That's when I want to build a retreat. That's when I want to, have a conversation. If I was to come on here with you and I'm in a foul mood, I had a bit of a mood on yesterday. So something had occurred and I had a lot of thinking about it. Well, that's not a time for me. I know I can't then go, oh, just pretend to be happy, because I'm not, and I didn't want to be. I needed to reflect on what had just happened myself. And you see that. Like, you can't hide that.
No, but the thing as well is that you could be in that mood, but you just need to be, somebody comes to you and you're a little bit down and they sort of smile and give you reassurance, and it's so easily changed, just like having somebody. So you could be like for instance, when you're in the car and somebody's driving in front of you and you can't make a decision whether they want to go right or left. You could, you get a bit agitated, and then the minute they've gone past, and a good song comes on, that thought's gone. Like that. It's that quick.
It's that. Yeah. And I love that, that we're only ever one thought away from another thought. It's like, and we start again. So at the awareness, what I love, what you're doing. We're all doing our things differently, and you're really bringing that awareness, especially via the treatments that you offer, the facial reflexology and the foot reflexology with your amazing Tropics products, which has been amazing.
I know, it's lovely.
But also via the kitchen, right? Also via what people are eating from a medicinal kind of health.
Oh yes, because I really do. For me, I know people. And I'm one of them. I think the presentation, when you cook and you want everything to be colourful and, smells are beautiful. But I think that, food is our medicine, and then to have a bit more thought and attention to what you're cooking, your meal could be very medicinal. So, and that's what I've been teaching now for nearly, 15 years.
Will you come and teach anybody who wants to come on a serendipity retreat? Will you come?
Of course, I'd be delighted to. And honestly, I'd love that, because I think that's the thing now, because it's about shopping, cooking, healing, all in one.
Rubina, it's a pleasure. I want you, please don't stop doing what you're doing.
I'm not any day soon.
You're on a roll, and the love that you give, I'm very grateful for the love you've shown me. You and your family have shown me, and I'm very grateful for for everything that you do for our community. So I think that's leave it.
How lucky are we?
Powerful conversation. Yeah, you're a beautiful lady. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. It's a pleasure. See you soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.